Welcome to the Engineering Toolbox channel where I show you how to solve real-world engineering problems with some common and some maybe not so common tools. So in the last one I showed you guys the basics of kind of creating or designing a user form, some of the code in the background and things like that. In this one we're going to take it a step further and I'll show you what I did since the last video to kind of finish things up as far as the design goes. Then there's some formatting things in there. So you'll see all that in a bit, but this one went a little long, but there's definitely a lot of good stuff in here, so stick around and check it out. All right, so let's take a look at what I did since the last video. In the last one, I basically ran through how to create this and then also the code in the background on how to populate these combo boxes with some values that our users can select. And like I said in the last video too, all I did was I basically just repeated those steps to create these other groups to complete the rest of our form and give the fields or make the fields available to our users. So I created a planning section here, which has a start date, due date, status, and completion percentage. Both of those are combo boxes. And then a finances section with a budget for the project and then like an actual cost, maybe to show the difference there. We could also add like a savings maybe. We would have to go back to the table and add it there. Then who is the project assigned to? Who are some contacts or resources maybe that you might need or could use to complete the project? And then like a notes section or a running notes section, however you want to use that. So yeah, I just added all that since the last video. In this one, I'm going to show you how to do some formatting with these budget fields or the finances fields so that it looks nice and professional. It shows the dollar sign and formats things properly. So it's very clear that these are dollar values. So let's take a look at the code and what I added. So here is what we had from last time. And again, all I did was just repeat that again. So I added 0, 10 all the way up to 100% for the completion percentage box. And then 5 options that our users can select from for the status, not started, active, hold, completed, or canceled. And then assigned to, I came up with some people that they can select from, like an employee list or something. I decided to put Justin Bieber in there even though I am not a fan. Let's take a look at how we can format that. And I cheated again. I just went to my cheater user form project and I copied it right over, but I'll run through how that works. So right off the bat, we have these two on top that I added, these two little modules, or subroutines that I added since the last video as well. And this is the after update event for the text budget, TXT budget text box. So what this code says, if the text box budget for the budget value is numeric, then we're going to set it equal to the value that we enter, and then we're going to format it with this formatting. And there's some good resources. If you do a quick Google search, type in Excel VBA format function, it'll show you kind of what these pound signs mean and some different formatting strings that you can give to this little function or method. Actually, property is what it would probably be. And then on how we can format things differently, it should show you that. But this is the format string that we want to feed it for formatting in dollars. And then if it is not numeric, so else, we're going to set it equal to the old value, which is, I guess, just a generic variable. It doesn't equal anything in this line of code. And then the before update event is going to say if it's numeric, then set the old value equal to, again, the value formatted like this. So the before update code, what it does is it says, here's the old value, and then we're going to format that value that is in the text box like this, and then set this variable equal to that. And then afterwards, if it's numeric, we're going to use that new value and populate the text box with that. Otherwise, we're going to go back to the old value. Initialize. Oh, there's one more thing that I forgot to pull over right here. So let's copy that, bring that over into our new user form, and this will be in the user form initialize event. So when that user form is loaded, we want to add these two lines in there. We're going to set the text box old value equal to 0. So initially it'll be that $0 value, and then make the text box itself value be 0 as well. So then now this variable is defined for these two other functions afterwards. So let's see what that looks like. I know this is kind of confusing until you see it in action. So right away, it loads that value, that $0 value right into there. And what happens if we change this? If I put in 500, you can see when I hit tab, it reformats it just the way we wanted it to. If I type in 10,000, formats it with a comma then. So that's working perfectly. And then the nice thing about this, and kind of why it's important, is because it'll take this value and then load it back into our project list with this formatting as well. So we don't have to worry about the formatting of our columns in our actual spreadsheet. So that's just kind of a nice little bonus there. We want to do the same thing then for this. So let's do that. Jump into our code here. Just going to copy this again. And, oops, I didn't stop the user form from running, so we had to stop that routine. And this is, we're going to have to change. So we're going to change it to txt budget old value. And then make sure to come back up here. Txt budget. What happened there? Budget. I'm just going to copy all this so I can jump here and double click to select all of it and paste. Okay. All right. So the reason I had to do that is to differentiate between the two text boxes. So we're going to have to do the same thing here. This is going to be txt actual old value. Again, copy that. Txt actual cost. I think that's what it's called. Let's double check that. We can go up here. Txt actual cost. There we go. Okay, so now when it initializes, it's going to be set to those 0 values. Just to be sure, let's check it out. Perfect. All right. Jump back into the code, and then we're going to find the txt actual cost event. So we don't want the change event, we want the before update and the after update event. So we can clear out the change event and then copy this right in the after update event, and then I'm going to shift tab that to move it back just because actually no, I won't. Let's get rid of that just to keep it nice and neat. What do we have to change here? So we have the is numeric, so we got to change this to txt after update. So if that text box, oh no, what am I doing? Actual cost. You guys will find out as you watch my videos that I am pretty scatterbrained sometimes. it's not uncommon that I go and like put the cereal in the fridge and the milk in the cupboard. So just to be clear on that, that's kind of my personality. All right, so that should be good. Nope, it's one more change here, here, and here. Okay, and then the for update chunk of code there. Make sure to change that. Oops. Copy that. Paste. Paste. TXT budget old value. TXT actual cost old value. TXT actual cost old value. Probably could have came up with something shorter there. Oh well. Budget old value. Okay, I think we got it. Let's check it out. Run this, and if I make that 50,500, perfect. Formatting is working just as we wanted. All right, so what else did I do? So the other thing is, since I added all these fields, is we have to make the code to take the values that we enter in our user form and then load those into our project list. And again, we're just copying and pasting the line that we originally used to move in that project title value, and we're just copying and pasting it over and over and over, changing the range here, and then changing the actual object that we're pulling from to populate these ranges. So pretty straightforward there. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. The only thing, this is not dynamic, so if we went and we added a column anywhere in here, we're going to be messing with our VBA code here. So start date used to be range D in last row, and now that we entered in a column, that's not the case. There's a little bit more complex things we can do to kind of account for that, but I'm not going to go into that. So just be aware of that if you're using this code, or if you do make a user form with this. Just wanted to share that. Thanks for watching. Oh, and then one more thing that we need to do is we have the OK button click event, and we actually want to make this unload UF main. This is kind of redundant. So the difference here, and I wasn't clear on this when I first got into VBA and started coding with this, UF main.hide is literally just hiding it. So if we run this piece of code by itself and we comment that out, for example, we're only hiding the user form. Any values that we have in there, when we actually load this and we go through and we enter all our values in here, not actually clearing the values out of the user form. So if you want the values to be totally cleared and you want the user form to start from scratch every time, you have to unload the user form. So I kind of do both. Pretty redundant. You can get away with just using unload if you want to unload and clear out the user form. But sometimes you may want to use just hide as well if you want it to actually store and save those values for later. So hard to understand that until you see the applications for it, but that's just another thing to be clear about. So now when I hit OK, it'll load these, close the user form, and then we'll be starting from scratch the next time we open up the user form. One other thing we need to do is go back here and add our code for the cancel button. I don't think I did that in the last video. And again, it's just the same thing. We're doing hide and unload just to start from scratch next time the user form is loaded then. All right, so I hope that gives you guys a better idea on how to kind of complete the design and some of the basic code for creating and formatting our fields here and everything. In the next one, I'm going to show you something really cool. So definitely check this out. I'm going to show you how to add a date picker for the start and due date fields so that users can actually go to a calendar and then select the date from that calendar, and then it'll load into these fields, just like you see in a lot of other applications. So that's going to be really cool. All right, I hope you enjoyed that one. To get more videos as they are released, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you liked this video, make sure to like and share. And if you didn't like it, well then leave me a comment and let me know how I can improve. Last but not least, this channel is for you. So if you have any suggestions or topics you want me to cover, be sure to let me know. We'll see you next time.